Hey YouTube, Sam Explays here. I just wanted to, before we begin, say a huge thank you for all the support on my Ultimate Bunny guide. I never thought that people would like it so much, so I did want to announce that I will be doing all the Ultimate guides, and the next Ultimate guide, as you can see that I'm going to be doing, is Ultimate GLEY. Now, if you thought that the bunny farm was hard, this one is going to be extremely difficult because the drop rates on these items are abysmally low. So for context, the bunny code that we spent all that time farming only had a 6% drop chance, while all of GLEY's pieces have a 6% drop chance. So this is going to be a very long farm. It's going to take you a long time. Now, for transparency here, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the hacking method like I did with Ultimate Bunny. And also you will, no matter what, even if we stick to the hacking method, you will have to fight Executioner to get her last piece. Or you could do Dead Bride or Molten Fortress, but I'm going to assume that if you're doing the hacking method, that most of you guys probably aren't that far into the game. As you can see, mine are still locked. I am not built enough to just go in there and kill a boss in 5 seconds, a hard boss. So at the end of the day, you will have to fight one hard boss, and that's going to be Executioner, to get the code. So no matter what, there is a different way to do this besides the hacking method, where you just go run hard missions and you will get the drop from like the amorph materials from the hard missions, and then you can go fight the hard bosses. But if you're like me and you haven't progressed that far enough into the game to where you can just go spam hard bosses and consistently down them, like in a very fast manner, then the next best method is going to be the hacking method. So just like my bunny video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly where to get every material. I'm going to show you one run of each thing that we need to do. I have not unlocked Ultimate GLEY yet. This is going to take me a long time. But if y'all waited on me to finish my farm before I uploaded this video, it probably wouldn't be out for like a month or a few weeks, or I guess depending on how lucky I get. But anyways, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing we're going to need is the metal accelerant. You should have plenty of these if you've been looting, but we're going to go find those in the sterile lands. And we can go ahead and you can teleport to wherever, it doesn't really matter, but I'll go ahead and teleport to Rockfall Tactical Transporter. And then I am rocking my Ultimate Bunny that I just unlocked completely free to play. If y'all are still farming that, good luck, and I hope you get her. She's a really good character, and I hope you guys are having good luck. So, just like in the bunny video, we're just going to run around and open these munitions. You're just going to run around and scan the area. You're going to be looking for those icons. And let's go over here. And you also want to hit up these resource boxes. It's going to be kind of RNG of what you get. But as you can see, we just got the metal accelerant, so that's how you are going to do that. It's very simple. You're just going to open the munitions boxes. Sometimes you'll get superfluid, sometimes you'll get metal accelerants. So that's literally it. Very easy. The blue mats are always extremely simple. Alright, next, you should have a lot of these from the bunny farm if you were doing that. Hardeners, we're going to teleport to Vespers. And we are just going to go to Timberfall. And if you notice with the blue materials, it's going to be the same thing every single time. You're just going to teleport to that zone. You're going to scan, run around the map, look for those boxes and resource boxes, and you're just going to keep farming those until you have enough. It's always a good idea to just, anytime you see them, to just grab them really quickly so you don't have to farm them in the future. Alright, and there you go. We got Hardeners. So that's how you're going to do that. Very simple. Alright, next up we are going to get the thermal metallic foil. We are going to go ahead, so for this farm, as I said in my bunny video, you can equip Enzo. As you can see here, Enzo is going to give you extra rewards, as well as make it easier. So if you do have Enzo unlocked, I highly recommend doing that to get this material. However, if you do not have him, you can still do this. It's just not going to be as optimal. So before I show you, so there's two things here. You're going to have these code analyzers. So if you're in normal mode, if you're going to do this in normal mode, because you can do it in normal or hard. So hard's going to give you a little bit more, but normals, you know, you're probably going to have some of these stacked up from when you ran through the campaign because they just have a chance from dropping off enemies or missions. So you should have some of these. But see how this one says it can only be used in normal difficulty. So the precision code analyzers are the normal ones, and the code breakers are going to be the hard ones. So that's how you can tell the difference. And then if you scroll over here, it'll tell you that you can only use it in hard difficulty fields. So I am going to run around and do mine in hard since I have 6 of these and 4 of these. And we will just go ahead and teleport. And then we are going to go to Echo Swamp. I'm going to teleport to the Derelict Covert. Oh man, I remember this place. If you did the Ultimate Bunny Farm, you lived here for a long time. Alright, so I'll go ahead and equip Enzo here. So remember, if you have Enzo, you do want to use them just so you can get those extra materials. If you don't have them, that's completely okay. You can still do this without it. Alrighty, and then now with Enzo, we're going to run around the map. And we are going to keep scanning until we find a bolt. Alright, and then as you can hear, if you hear this sound, that means you're near a bolt. So if you're looking in the direction of a bolt, it's going to make this unique sound. That is going to be an indicator for you that a bolt is nearby. It will be louder the closer you get to it. Okay, so it looks like this one's going to be a little tricky. So it's probably under. Here we go. So sometimes they're going to be hidden like this, so be aware of that. And then you're going to use your precision code breaker.
Codes of this level are child's play.
And boom. And then you see we got 10 metallic foil. If you do have the purple ones of these, it does give you a lot of Cooper shards as well. It's like 75,000. It's like ridiculous. It's a really high number. So yeah, if you have the purple ones, definitely go farm those. It'll give you the most mats and you will be good to go. Alrighty, next up we're going to do the Ultimate GLEY Enhanced Cells Blueprint. As I said, these are going to be really low drop rates, so make sure that you have your shards farmed up. I'm going to go over which shards you need and all that good stuff. And we are going to hack the outpost. Now, I'm going to kind of break this up into the 2 options that you have, because depending on which ultimate, like let's say you don't have Ultimate Bunny, you would want to do 122 and 123. So if I scroll over here, you see how you get 122? Well, if you hack it, you also get 123. So the Ultimate GLEY Enhanced Cells is going to be in the 122 pattern. However, if you don't have Ultimate Bunny, you will also get the 123 pattern, which contains the Ultimate Bunny Spiral Catalyst. So you can kind of farm them both at the same time. So if you want to farm Ultimate Bunny and Ultimate GLEY at the same time, you want to do this outpost. Now, if we go and look here, we have another option. We can do 60. So this is the one I'm farming because I already got Ultimate Bunny. However, this is the one that you want to farm if you are going for Ultimate ULepic. So it's 2 different outposts that give you 2 different materials. They'll both give you the GLEY pattern, but the off pattern that you're not going for is going to change depending on who you're going for. So that's why I said it depends on your account and what your goals are with the game. So if you want Ultimate ULepic and you want to farm Ultimate GLEY, go for pattern 60. And if you want Ultimate Bunny and Ultimate GLEY, you'll go for this one, pattern 122 and pattern 123. So I'm going to show you exactly what this is going to look like. So we should be very familiar with this if you did the Ultimate Bunny farm, but I'll go ahead and just show you what we're going to do anyway here. Alright, then you're going to spawn in with Sharon, and you're going to go and run over to the outpost. If you have done Ultimate Bunny farm, you'll realize that this is the same outpost, and then you're just going to come down here. And this boss is very frustrating to deal with. He throws ice discs at you. He freezes the floor. If you get hit, it freezes you, as well as mobs constantly spawning. So you do have to have a decent weapon. I'm using the Tamer. I am like completely budget build. I don't have an energy activator in this. My Sharon. So this is going to be my Sharon's build. It's nothing too crazy. I mean, we have the increased HP, increased defense. And then you have max skill extension. So it's like a pretty budget build. I'm not like insanely like geared, so you can do this. That's kind of why I like hacking, right? You don't have to be like insanely geared. But if you do find yourself struggling, obviously you can always group up. People are always going to be farming this because they are also going for that ultimate GLEY and ultimate bunny. You can go to the official TFD Discord or Reddit or what have you and just try and ask people, hey, does anybody want to farm this? I personally farm everything solo just because I don't want anybody to mess up my hacking stuff, but you can absolutely find a group and do this way faster. But what you're going to do is you're just going to stealth in here. And you're just going to get as many outposts as you can. If you feel like you're not going to have enough time, you can always just run out. And then we're going to wait for our timer here. Go ahead and re-stealth. Grab the ones that you missed. And you want to kind of thin out the herd here because the mobs keep spawning and the boss is a pain in the ass to deal with. So I'm going to kill some mobs here. And be careful for these ice discs. They do hurt you a lot. And you're just going to aim for his head, and you want to make sure you're dodging these ice things because they're going to freeze you, and it's a pain in the ass. Remember, you can stealth for more damage. And just quickly pop to stealth and nuke them. It's okay if you die. You want to immediately focus on these orbs. Another reason why I hate this boss is because I really hate the immunity balls. It's just very frustrating to deal with. But remember, you can just stealth and you'll get increased damage when you come out. And then it's fine if you die. And then we're just going to aim for his head and nuke him. I got hit by the ice thing there, but it's okay. We're going to kill him here pretty soon. And if you have like a better gun than I do, this will be a lot easier. But like if you have a tamer that's energy activated or you have the right stats on it, if you are struggling and you have a piece of gear that has like a freeze resistance, something like that, you know, you can throw it on. If you need some more defense, make sure you do have that increased HP and increased defense modules activated and fully leveled up, or else you will have a bad time. So that is how you're going to get the pattern 122 and 123 if it drops for you. And then you are going to come over here and you are going to activate this, the Abyssal Void Fusion Reactor Fortress Defense Line. And if you ever get confused, I always encourage using the journal 122 and 123. Abyssal Void Fusion Reactor Fortress Defense Line. Abyssal Fusion Reactor Fortress Defense Line. In my last video, I did not show these boss fights, and I was getting some questions on how to deal with them. So in this video, I am going to fight the bosses. I'll try and keep it as short as I can. I'll skip through the video to make sure it's not like a 50-second, you know, like 20-minute fight or whatever. But here we go. So I'm going to start it. And the best way I've found to deal with this guy is just take cover behind rocks. See how he can't hit me there? So you just want to kind of kite him, because this guy is extremely tanky. So you can also go over here if you're like struggling a little bit with that rock and just kind of shoulder peek him. And then when he fires, you just do that. You're not on a timer here, so it can take as like you can take your time with it. You don't have to, you know. And then when he throws these grenades at you, you just roll away. And if you get lucky, hopefully they drop some ammo for you, because I'm kind of hurting on ammo. But just remember, you can die and it'll reset your ammo. So if you find yourself just not having any ammo, just like run up to him and then just die. You get 5 chances. Alright, and you're just going to keep working them down. This will be much faster if you're in a group, but you can, it is soloable. You can do it solo. So I want to get my tamer ammo back, so I'm gonna die on purpose here. And this is kind of funny, but if you run right up to him, he's just gonna do melee attacks. And it's gonna do like no damage to you. He's just gonna keep spamming that. So this is also an option if you kind of want to like cheese him. You will eventually die, but it's fine. If you don't like all that running around, this is just an alternative method. You can just sit here and do this. He's just gonna keep meleeing you. It does like no damage, so you don't have to be scared. Alright, and then now we get a refresh on our ammo. And then now we can just nuke him. Always aim for the head. As I said, this is one of the more tankier bosses in the game. And then there you go. So you're gonna kill him, and then you're gonna open this reconstructed orb. Or reconstructed device. And then we are just going to cross our fingers and pray to the RNG gods that the ultimate GLEY enhanced cell is gonna drop. Let's see if we get lucky. We did not. We got ULepic. So honestly, it's kind of to be expected. The drop chances on GLEY are pretty low, so you know it's gonna take you a long time. That's what I'm saying. You can absolutely solo this, but if you have 4 people, it's gonna be way faster. You're gonna be able to do way more runs, because just soloing this boss takes me like 5 minutes. But I'm probably going to do it solo, but you don't have to be crazy like me. You can go find people to do it. And after you fight this boss, most likely the outpost is going to be reset or close to reset, depending on your damage. So you can just go run back here. So you can do you can hack the outpost, come over and fight the boss, go back and do the outpost, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Now keep in mind you are going to need those polymer and monomer shards. So make sure that you have those farmed up, especially if you want to spam. And as I showed you in my bunny video, let's say you want to get like 5 of these patterns before you start spamming the boss, just so you don't have to keep going back. You can reset the outpost. Basically, you're just going to do the outpost. You're going to teleport outside this map. So you're just going to teleport like down here or down here, and it's going to reset the instance. You don't have to go from private to public to private. You can just stay in private, and you'll have a chance for this outpost to completely reset and bypass that 5-minute timer. So sometimes it'll be around 1 minute, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Usually it shaves off a good 3 to 4 minutes usually when you do it. If you do have a hard drive, if you're on PC, I don't know how fast your computer is. If you have an SSD, the loading times are pretty fast, so it might be worth it. But if you're on like a hard disk drive, those loading times can be kind of harsh. So if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I'm just saying that's an option. Regardless though, the hacking method is it takes you some time, you know. It's hopefully they lower the timers and we don't have to do this trick where we have to teleport out of the map and back in and back out and back in. But for right now, that is the most optimal way if you are doing the hacking method and you cannot just go spam those hard bosses. This is the only way to do it. So if you want ultimate GLEY, this is what you're gonna have to do. Now on the flip side, let's say you don't want ultimate bunny. Let's say you're like, I already have her, I don't need her, or I don't want her, whatever the case may be. You can do pattern 60, which is way easier. The boss is super easy. It's just a normal elite. You can kill it in like 2 seconds. However, it is not going to have that ultimate bunny code in the other pattern. So if you're going for ultimate ULepic and ultimate GLEY, then do the pattern 60 as I was saying earlier, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So we're just going to teleport to the sterile land, and we are going to go, as per usual, we're going to like hack the outpost. As I said, this one is infinitely easier. You're not going to have a hard time with this one like at all. Alright, so we're going to start behind this little fence thing right here, and we are just same thing as all the other ones. Run in. This one only has 3, so you should be able to get all 3 of them. Pop Sharon's ultimate to clear out the herd and get that damage boost, and you're just going to aim at his head. Boom, that's it, you're done. See how much easier this one is? So you can just keep doing this. This one's way easier than the other outposts, so you can spam this one a lot more quickly. But again, this one is this pattern. is it's gonna have the ultimate GLEY in it with pattern 60, but the pattern 61 is gonna have ULepic. The other two patterns, 122 and 123, at the other outposts are going to have Ultimate GLEY and Ultimate Bunny. So depending on which one you're going for, you're going to do either option 1 or option 2. But pattern 60 is way easier than pattern 122 to like efficiently farm it. So it's up to you. If you want Bunny and GLEY, go do 122, 123. If not, do this one because it's way easier. Takes way less time. All right, so now that assuming that you got the pattern, you're going to go down here to 60 and or 61 if you're farming ULepic, and we're going to need to go to the Abyssal Void Fusion Reactor Sterile Land Rockfall Zone. So that should be this one right here. It is Sterile Land Rockfall Zone. So we're going to run over there, and as you can see here, this one is going to take monomer and polymer. I'm not going over the void farm shards in this video. I'm just going to show you what it takes. I'll show you the boss fights. But as far as the void farms, you can just, depending on how you want to do it, some people prefer to do the non-attribute ones where you just spam that over and over and over and you get 4 of each. And some people like to specifically farm the ones that give you 13. So there's multiple ways to do it. If you do need to just go to the nearest one or whatnot, you can take Bunny over here and it does drop monomer and polymer. However, this one only drops 11. There are ones that drop 13, but if you want to stay in the same area, you can just kind of get into a rhythm. If you're not wanting to reset the map over and over at the outpost, you could go do the outpost, run over here, do the void shard farm, and then run over and do the boss once you have enough, and then run back to the outpost. You can kind of just, however you want to do it, or you can just spam this like, 10, 20 times. Make sure you have enough to just keep fighting the boss. It's all preference. Me personally, I would usually just do rotations. So I would do like the outpost, then I'd do the void charm, go back to the outpost, then do another void charm, go fight the boss, rinse and repeat. So that is how you're going to do that. So let's go ahead and start up this boss. As you can see, it's going to be an elite tracker that we're going to have to fight. So we're going to start this up. I'm going to go ahead and stealth to get that increased damage. I got hit by that. Just be careful of his slam ability. And you are going to have to kill that other guy, but it's really not that difficult compared to the other bosses. As I said, this one is like way easier than the other one. You should not struggle with this one at all. And then you're just gonna kill this guy. At least he doesn't have like really lame mechanics like the other boss where you're like getting perma frozen if you get hit. This one's like much easier to deal with. So you're just gonna kill him here, and it's gonna spawn the reconstructed device right here. You're just gonna open it, and assuming you have the pattern, as you can see here, this is what I was saying. So pattern 61 here is Ultimate ULepic, so if you are going for him, this is the one that you would be doing if you were trying to farm him and GLEY at the same time. Because see how GLEY's is right here? So that's why I said it's just going to change depending on kind of what you want. Alright, next up we are going to do the carbon crystal. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Hagios map. You can kind of teleport wherever. We'll go to Starfall Road. Right, and then now we're at Starfall Road. I'm going to go ahead and just equip my bunny so we can kind of get around the map a little bit quicker. And you're just going to run around and scan. It's going to be one right over here. And you're just going to come over. Same thing with all the blue mats. You're just going to open the munitions. Alright, so I looked over here and they didn't really have too many of the munitions, so I teleported over here to Starfall Road Tactical Transporter. And then we are going to just go up here and loot this. It really doesn't matter what part of the map. You don't have to follow me exactly. It just there we go, carbon crystals. You can do this on any part of the map as long as you are in Hagios. So if you're just not finding a lot of munitions, you can try like, fractured monolith, forward base, like it really doesn't matter. All right, next up we are going to do the reverse charging coils. We're going to teleport to the fortress. I'm going to go to the defense line. We'll go ahead and run over to this one. This one usually doesn't let me down. And then there you go, reverse charging coil. So that's how you're going to get that. All right, next up we are going to be doing the cooling metallic foil. So this is the same thing as the thermal metallic foil. We're going to go ahead and teleport to the White Knight Gulch. All right, and then you're going to hear this sound once again. Now these can be a pain in the ass to find, but I mean they up the rewards given from them by triple, so doesn't really take you that long to get these mats anymore. All right, and then here we go. And you're just gonna use whatever breaker you have. And this is where I am on the map right here, on the side of this building. Now they do move around, so yours might not be here, but you can just keep resetting it and resetting it if you can't find one, and they'll kind of move around a little bit. So we'll use a precision code breaker. And there we go. Cooling metallic foil and 27k Cooper shards, or Kuiper, however you say it. And that's how you're going to do that. It's the same process as the thermal metallic foil, so it's pretty easy. Oh, also, if you do need somewhere to farm these, you can go do this anticipated ambush mission, or ambush point. I farmed this in hard mode for like an hour, and I ended up getting like 10, 15 of those breakers. So you should be able to just go farm this, or you can just farm other missions, but I found I was getting quite a few drops when I did this mission, because this mission is extremely quick. It takes like 1 minute if you have Bunny just running around and AoEing. Maybe not even like 30 seconds. So that's how you're going to do that if you need them. All right, next up, we're going to do the ultimate GLEY stabilizer blueprint. So as I said earlier, if you are doing the hacking method and you are just not built enough to fight and just run in and kill all the hard bosses, the hacking method is the way to go, and this is the one that you're going to do. It's going to be pattern 92, and we're just going to go over here. It's going to be an Agna Desert, and we are just going to teleport to Mirage Stone if you do need to change your Descendant. So teleport here, and then you can change to Sharon. All right, now that you got Sharon equipped, we're just going to go ahead and run over to this outpost. And it's going to be pattern 92 that we're looking for here. So this one has 93 and 92. And remember to always hack it, because there's literally no reason not to. You have an additional chance to get that stabilizer. So always hack these. Never just run in and nuke it, which is why I suggest doing it on private. But if you have to group, just try and get a 4-man that understands that they get extra rewards if Sharon does hack it. All right, and then you're just going to run over here. Same thing as the other ones. You're just going to stealth in. And this one's cool because you can get all 3 in one go. Pop the ulti. And then just thin out the herd, because there's like a lot of minions that keep spawning. If you need to, you could also just focus the boss. But there were like too many there for me. So then you just kill the boss. Nice, we got Stabilizer 5 and pattern 93. Not the pattern we wanted, but we'll take it. We'll eventually open it. So, assuming you got the pattern. And just remember, if you're not wanting to wait on these timers, you can reset this outpost. So you can just run out here. What this will do is it'll reset the instance. It's kind of like teleporting out and teleporting back in. And you're gonna bypass that timer, like we've seen in the other videos. All right, and then we're just gonna go ahead and go back in. And as you can see, it is reset. So just a little tip if you're not wanting to wait all that time, and we'll just stealth past these guys. But obviously if you wanted to do it again, you could. So that's how you do that. All right, so after that, we are going to fight this boss, the Agna Desert Mirage Stone Deposit. So I'm gonna teleport over here and then just put on your most powerful Descendant. And then it's gonna be this one, Agna Desert Mirage Deposit. Alright, so we didn't do so well on our Bunny just because it's not fully built yet since we just got her. So I'm going to go ahead and change to Viessa, and then, yeah, these bosses can be kind of hard, guys. So as I said, if you're wanting to solo these, I've found that Viessa is good just because, like, I can just cast and then kind of like shoulder peek and shoot and stuff like that. So it kind of depends which Descendant is like your strongest, but make sure you're equipping your strongest Descendant to deal with these bosses. So we're gonna go ahead and summon this guy. We're gonna hide behind the rock. See how much damage he does? That's just with one shot, and I have like maxed out mods. All right, we're gonna kite around these ghost things, and you're just gonna keep working them down. You wanna just always use the environment to your advantage. So always make sure you're taking cover behind something, especially if you're soloing. All right, we're about to get him to phase 2, and then you're just gonna destroy the balls. Just make sure you're dodging those little ghost missiles that he shoots, because they do hurt. Now I'm out of ammo, so I'm just gonna gonna run in here and die so it refreshes my ammo. And we're just gonna go ahead and finish him off here. And boom, that's how you do it. As I said, these bosses can be quite difficult if you're not that built, so just make sure if you want to do these in a group it will be faster, but they're 100% soloable. It just might take you an extra minute or two to kill it. So then you're just going to do the reconstructed device, and then we're going to do the Monomolecular Extractor, which conveniently is in Agna Desert. Hey, we're already there. So we can just run around from where we were, and you can just destroy these resource boxes. See how we get some right there. And then if you can't find the boxes, you know, if you run past munitions, it can be anywhere. The blue mats are really easy, super simple. Anywhere on the map is fine. You're just gonna run around and loot it. All right, next up, we are going to do the ceramic deposits. It's gonna be in White Knight Gulch. We're gonna go to the hatchery, and we are familiar for sure with this one. We've been here many times, so just open these munition boxes. And there you go, ceramic composite. So that's how you get that one, super easy. Now the common carbonator activators, the common carbon activator, we are going to go ahead and do the hard mode one. So we're going to go to the sepulcher, and we're going to teleport to the lost supply depot. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and equip my bunny for this, since she's just really good at running through missions. And you're just going to start this mission right here, calling the Descendant sepulcher. And we're just going to go ahead and run through this and do the sepulcher. I'll show you the drop. I'm not going to show you the whole run, but this is how you get it. Also, this was the alternative to the hacking method. If you see, pattern 76 also drops ultimate GLEY stabilizers. The good things about these are they are 100% drop rate if you do hit that 3000 score. However, the thing with these is you have to fight the hard mode bosses, which I feel like most of the people in the game are not yet at that point to where they can just go in and clear all the hard bosses. But once we get to the like late in game, where everybody is just min-maxed optimized to where they can just run in and just like kill hard mode bosses easy, this would be the optimal way to farm it. However, most people are not at this spot yet, so I'm not doing a video on the hard bosses. I'm doing the hacking method, and this is why. But eventually you want to get to this point because it does give you a 7% chance to drop the stabilizers, goes up to 11%, all the way to 20%. So once you get to the late game, this will be the way to farm for ultimates. However, if you do want those ultimates now and you just cannot do the hard bosses, the hacking method is really the only way to do that. All right, so you're just gonna run through this mission. Very simple. I'm doing it on hard mode. You can do it on normal if you want. I'll get this guy up real quick. Be aware that if all of your team stands in this, it moves much faster. So if you have a 4-stack, you definitely want to do that. My team's just clearing out the ads so I can get escorted easily. Alright, and there's going to be this elite here. Make sure to kill the orb. Alright, and there you go, common carbon activator. And this is going to be the boss. Just be careful, he does throw these things down that like infinitely CC you, those right there. I got hit by it. So if you can see here, the reason why I like doing it in hard mode is one, once I do make it to that point of having the, if I'm able to just run in and like one-shot hard bosses, these drop those amorphous materials that I will need for GLEY anyway. And I also get a higher chance of, see this, Transcendent mod. So there you go, we just got water play. So yeah, that's why I do it in hard mode. You can do it on normal if you want, but me personally, I just start a public operation, I run through this, and you kind of need to do this anyway, right? To like overall get more powerful. It gives you gold, Kuiper shards, Transcendent mods sometimes, as well as those amorph materials. So this is the one I suggest because if you don't get lucky with the hacking and you never get the ultimate GLEY stabilizer blueprint, you have something to kind of fall back on, and you're not going to have to come back to farm this later to get it. So if you do get to that point to where you can fight those hard bosses, you'll be stacked up with these. That way you're just good to go. You just keep spamming the hard boss, or if you find someone to carry you or get a good group or whatever. So that's why I recommend doing this one. But as far as this video and what we're doing, we're just trying to get those materials. So we're not going to go in and fight the hard bosses. However, if you are at that point to where you can do that, you can absolutely just run in there and fight the hard bosses. But we're sticking to the hacking method for this video. Later on, we'll do guides on the hard bosses and stuff like that. once we get to that point, but we're just not there yet. So the hacking method is more free to play friendly. You don't have to be min-maxed out of your mind. You can just, you know, very budget build, run in there and do it. Granted, it does take a long time to farm the shards and do that, so that is going to be how you're going to get the common carbon activators. You can mess around with it a little bit, and if you want to go run some normals, that's completely fine. You'll finish it a lot faster, but the only reason I was running you know, the one that I did is because the Transcendent mods, the Kuiper, the gold, as well as the Amorph Material 76 to have something to fall back on if I am not able to get the GLEY stabilizer, or excuse me, the GLEY spiral catalyst. I'll have those Amorph materials already stacked up for when I am able to go do the end game hard boss content. So yeah. All right, so moving on to the ultimate GLEY spiral catalyst blueprint. So once again, we are going to have two options here. What I would recommend is doing pattern 72, and the reason for this is because pattern 72 shares with pattern 73. So again, if you are wanting to farm Ultimate Bunny and Ultimate GLEY at the same time, pattern 72 is the spiral catalyst for GLEY, and then the off pattern is the Ultimate Bunny enhanced cells, so you can farm both of them at the same time. So for this one, we are going to go over here to the Lost Supply Depot, Volga Strategic Outpost, and we're going to get Sharon ready to go. As I said, it's always better to hack, even if you're not looking for that off material. Okay, got a little lag spike there. Even if you're not looking for that off material, it's still always better to hack because you're getting an additional chance to get those rewards, especially if you're trying to farm for Ultimate Bunny as well. Always hack the missions, and we're just gonna run in. Sometimes they can body block you, which is very annoying. I really hope they remove collision in this game because it's definitely like not fun. Then we're just gonna ulti. This one's super simple. You're just gonna aim at his head, nuke him, and there you go. So that's how you're going to do this one. I did not get a pattern drop there, but that's how you're going to do it. And then of course you can reset the outpost if you're wanting to do that. And then we're going to get assuming that you have pattern 72, we are going to need to go to the Vespers Lost Supply Depot. So the Abyssal Void Fusion Reactor, Vespers Lost Supply. And that is going to be this one over here. So at the top of the map over here. So I'm going to teleport back here, and I'm going to change to my Vienna, just because she seems to be the one that deals with bosses most effectively. I just got my Ultimate Bunny this morning, so she's not fully built, she's not energy activated. I have an energy activator researching, so soon I'll be able to hop on that and do decent damage. But for right now, I find that Vienna is the most reliable for me to kill bosses. Alright, and then you're just going to run over here. This can be a pretty long run. They put this one like all the way at the top of the map over here, and there's no teleport waypoint, so this one is a little inconvenient to do, but it is what it is. Alright, so now that we're here, the Vespers Lost Supply Depot, we're going to just start the boss. And this guy's extremely annoying. He's just going to keep shooting rockets at you. This guy's really, really annoying. So you're going to have to take cover behind stuff, like so, because he's going to keep spamming it. So you're just going to keep peeking him, and then work him down. As I said, always use the environment to your advantage, and then he's going to spawn these orbs, and you guys know the deal. You just kill the orbs, and you're just going to keep working them down. As I said, this guy's a huge pain in the ass, so if you need a group up for this, you can set your world to public and just wait for someone to start it with you. You can solo it, but as you can see, I'm kind of struggling a little bit, but it is doable. It's just going to take you a little bit. Alright, and then you're going to kill him. Again, this guy is extremely annoying, so if you have a group that you can do this with, I highly recommend it. This farm is a lot harder than the bunny farm. It seems like the enemies you have to fight to get the GLEY ultimates are a lot harder, in my opinion. So, but yeah, you're going to kill this boss. If you're having a hard time, switch it to public. Maybe other people will be farming this. If not, as I said, always go to the Reddit or the Discord, ask for help. Be like, hey, is anyone trying to farm GLEY? This is soloable, but it's just going to take some time. So if you're trying to do it the most optimal way, you do want to have like a 4-man just like constantly rotating trying to do this so you can kill it faster. But that's not to say that you can't solo it. I just soloed it. It's all going to depend on your build and everything like that. And next we have the code. So for the ultimate GLEY code, you will have to fight the executioner. There is no way around this. The devs made sure that you do have to fight a hard boss. So that's going to be in this mission, Slumber Valley, in hard mode. You're going to spam this and you're going to get those materials to drop. And after you beat it in hard mode, you can go to public operations and just like foreman it. It's pretty easy. If you have like a semi-decent build, it's not bad. So you're going to spam this, get those amorph materials, and you're going to fight Executioner. I'm glad they put this behind Executioner because he's the first hard boss you fight. So then you're going to go to Executioner in hard. Luckily, it's only locked behind the first boss, so it's not like you have to beat all of these bosses to get her code. But yeah, it would be this one right here. So you just go in there. This is the only way to get it. You can fight other bosses later down the line that also drop it, but this is the first boss in hard mode that you're going to run into, so this is where you would get the GLEY code. It's a 6% drop chance, just like the bunny one. So yeah, no matter what, even if you do get lucky and get all of her match, you will have to end up fighting a hard boss. It's just the way it is. It seems like they made Ultimate GLEY much harder to get than bunny, because at least with bunny, you would have like drops that were like 10%, 20%. With GLEY, it's all 6% across the board. So the devs really made this one extremely difficult to get. In my honest opinion, I would say that this farm should be done casually, because I feel like if you try just for me to get Ultimate Bunny, it took me a while, even with those increased rates and using stabilizers and things like that. Now, to be fair, if you are hacking and you do get those stabilizers, it does up it to a 10% chance, which is a little better. But unless you get really lucky, it's most likely going to take you, if you just try and like go full send this and hard grind it's going to take you forever. And you know, that this farm is rough, man. I mean, I hope they fix the hacking outpost to where they just reduce the timer to maybe like 30 seconds or something, because I do think it kind of sucks that you have to teleport outside of the map, go back into the map, just so you don't have to wait those 5 minutes, on top of already locking it behind void shards. So this farm is by no means going to be easy. The ultimate bunny grind wasn't even easy, but it was way easier compared to this. So that's how you're going to unlock Ultimate GLEY. It is going to be hell. I'm going to take my time with this one. I'm not going to do it like I did Ultimate Bunny and just hardcore rush it, because I feel like if I did that, I would probably lose my sanity, because having all of these at a 6% drop rate is rough. So this seems to be, in my opinion, they seemed to want the community to unlock Ultimate GLEY by either by paying or by waiting way later into the future, where you could just go in and one-shot these bosses and quick. Like very quick. So if you're not there yet and you just want to go and unlock Ultimate GLEY, unfortunately the hacking method is the only way to do it. If you would rather use that time to go and power level your character and try and get some of those hard bosses done before you try and unlock Ultimate GLEY, then in the long run, the most optimal way would be to spam those hard dungeons, go fight a hard boss, kill it, reset, keep doing that over and over, instead of going to hack the outpost, go farm the shards, go farm the boss. There's just more steps. So, but the problem is that most players aren't there yet, and if you are choosing to go for Ultimate GLEY as your first ultimate Descendant, Godspeed, dude, because these rates are so low, it's going to take you a long time. I have seen some people on Reddit, though, that they did start crafting her, so props to those guys, dude. Respect for the grind, like, that's crazy. But for free-to-play players like myself, if you are, or I guess I did buy a $15 bunny, the head skin for bunny. I guess that's the only thing I bought. But generally, as far as like power goes and not cosmetics, you might not be that far into the game yet, because you still have to crystallize all your mods. You have to crystallize your Descendants. You have to level 1 to 40 like 20 times or 18 times to like max out your character. So odds are, if you did not drop any money on the game, you are not going to be that far to where you're able to just run in and one shot a boss in like a minute, you know? So this one's really hard, guys. I would recommend just going for this casually, see if you get lucky, maybe do it a few times a day. I would recommend not hard grinding this because I do not think that I don't think it's worth it. To be honest, I really don't. I don't think it's worth it. I think you should do it a few times a day. If you get lucky, you get lucky. If you don't, then you don't. You can try again tomorrow. However, if you're insane like I was with Ultimate Bunny and you want to just like go, 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 it absolutely is possible to unlock GLEY. You're just gonna have to seriously hunker down and try and just, you know, grind as much as possible, get all your void shards, hack the missions, reset the outpost, do all that good stuff. It's possible. It's just going to take a lot longer considering everything is a 6% drop chance. So this is how you unlock Ultimate GLEY. I'm Samix Plays. Again, thank you so much for the support on the bunny video. It motivated me to do these guides more. So I am going to be doing other Ultimate guides. Most likely I'm doing Viesa next. We'll see which one I do next. But thanks so much for watching. As always, y'all have a good one. Take care. I hope you guys have a good grind on the first Descendant. And I will be grinding this in my you know, between trying to level up my character and stuff like that, doing catalysts and things like that, but I will not be hardcore focusing on this grind just because I feel like the rates are not high enough for me to just full send it and do the same thing over and over for 80 hours, you know what I mean? So with Ultimate GLEY, I'm just gonna get it when I get it essentially, but if you do want to farm it, this is how you do it with the hacking method. Or if you want to wait till that late game where you can farm those hard bosses, you can absolutely do that, and that would be the more optimal way to do it, however you want to do it. But anyways, y'all take care. Thank you so much for the support. If I did help you out in any way, please drop a sub. It goes a long way. It helps me grow as a content creator. Thank you so much, guys. Peace out. Y'all have a good one.